Vengeance. Vengeance is not spelled correctly, but that's fine. We'll forgive them for that typo. Ugh. Alrighty, well, let's get this show on the road, shall we? We're going to be doing this mission called Vengeance. So supposedly, I don't know if the Kilo did this rogue Kilo. Someone sunk an aircraft carrier and we're avenging it by sinking a rogue Kilo. So this should be challenging because Kilos are hard to find if they don't want to be found. Oh, Sovietskaya? Like the fourth mission in the Russian rebellion campaign? Sounds like Sovietskaya, alright. Are you talking about this Patrick Robinson novel, Dakamar? I don't know. I haven't read it. This is supposedly the final battle. And it's made by Bill Nichols, which means it's going to be a good mission. Whoa, look at this. Wow, okay. I'll let you guys read this if you want. One of the noisiest spots in the entire ocean. Brilliant. It always sounds easy. Kilos are hard to find, though. Alright, don't kill your drink before you even start the mission here, man. All Mark 48s, man. That's all you need. Well, can't hurt to potentially have a harpoon in the tube or something in case we see a submarine on the surface for whatever reason. Get ourselves a quick kill. VLS. Well, I guess you could have one in the vertical launch too. We don't really need one in here. We have a TASM up there. We'll just use that potentially if we need it. Storage are good. LA only has. It's been a while since I played as an American sub. They only have so many different weapon types. Alrighty. Before I start, I want to make sure truth isn't on or something here. Okay, good. It's not. None of that's turned on. All this is good. We are good. We are all systems go. Full steam ahead. Gotta come back. Why do they give you like 2 TASMs and a T-LAM, and like 1 torpedo as a default loadout? That's just silly. I don't know. That's just me. Alright, here we go. And we're doing Reinforce Alert 140, in case you were wondering. The UUV, I'm going to avoid the UUV this time. We're dealing with the Kilo. That's a pretty quiet boat. It's not really going to be of much benefit in this mission. And I'm not terribly too familiar with how they work in RA still. So, I'm going to leave it out for now. But here we go. Currents blow around the towed array. Currents blow around you. If you're only going like 3 knots and trying to do a harbor crawl, and currents could be on and potentially, you know, if you're trying to go into the harbor but the currents are pushing out of the harbor at say 2 knots and you're going 3 knots, you're only going to get into the harbor at effective speed of 1 knot. It's like airspeed with airplanes. So currents can make a difference. Alright, what's the volume set to on this? It seems like it's quiet. And probably should be somewhat quiet. Okay. Toad is full streamed. We are... Where are we? We're near the Falklands here. Very deep water. Very deep. Context. Ooh, slow down. Slow the hell down. Thank you.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
So the LA, the 688I. So I did a multiplayer mission. Oh my, we were supposed to... me and my friends played a badass multiplayer mission a few weeks ago, but I didn't record it, and it was like the best multiplayer mission ever. So I still have the replay for that. I'm trying to get them together so we can talk over the replay at least. I was playing as a Virginia, and I was basically like right next to an Akula, like 5 nautical miles away, going 6 knots next to this Akula, and had no idea I was here, man. Virginias are quiet, but I could hear my 688I friend. He was like 7 or 8 nautical miles away, and I could hear him, and he was doing like 5 knots or something like that. It was crazy, man. I was like, geez, the Virginia is deadly. If you get a chance, try that bad boy out. It is nice. Very nice. All right, we're at 200 feet. Very, very, very choppy sea. What's our layer at? Shallow layer. That is going to make this a fun mission. We have no layer depth on American air. Okay. Headphones are coming on. I need to hear. So we got ourselves a very shallow layer. That's going to be fun when Mr. Kilo... Oh my god. How am I supposed to find this thing? This is a very large area of operation here. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and stream the wire, see if we got ourselves any updates here. What is the Virginia's top speed? Isn't it ever so slightly faster than in LA? LA does 33, doesn't it? Regardless, you shouldn't have to really worry about doing 34 knots in a Virginia, because you should sneak up on anyone in a Virginia. I haven't tested it out yet, but I will bet that the Virginia is slightly quieter than the Seawolf. It is quiet, man. And the Seal is pretty quiet, too. Me and a friend did some acoustic tests with that hasn't come out yet, and it is quiet. It's crazy. Like, 12 nautical miles at flank speed, and if it's not cavitating, and if you're playing as an Akula, you cannot hear a Seawolf, man. It is quiet. Hey, Rick Tiga, how's it going? Please correct me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. RA is great. It's a lot of fun. Having all the extra platforms just adds such another dimension to it. 141 comes out soon. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Crazy Ivan released his... Crazy Ivan, excuse me. Crazy Ivan released the notes for 141 just yesterday. Okay, I should probably start looking at the sonar. Okay, now the toad is beneath the layer. You can see that hard cutoff. Not sure if we want that per se, but maybe we do. This Kilo is going to be hard to find. Mission description did say there are 5 US subs. I think I am one of the 5 US subs. Yes, 5 US Navy subs tasked with intercepting and sinking. So, did you see all these traces? Look at that. It's craziness. I said hi to you, Matt. I said hi earlier. Maybe you didn't hear it. Okay, I don't need this much slack out. Where is it? There it is. This is actually... No, it's actually pretty long. I don't really need that much slack, but we'll... do we have link turned on here? Yes, we do. This is a good enough amount of slack. Okay, let's go ahead and get on the toad. Oh, do we have the right toad out? Or the correct toad, excuse me. Yes, we do. We have the correct toad out. Oh my god, your name just happens to be such an unfortunate color. I'm gonna have to get real close to it. What the hell? I can't read that for shit. That is really contrasty. TJ Wine. How's it going, man? I recognize your face. Okay, so right now the toad is beneath the layer. We will see If that is what we... I'm not sure if the kilo's going to be that deep, but I don't know. Just TJ, gotcha. Oh, let's see. It would help if you changed the frequency scale down. No need to keep it up. I need to open my frequency sheet. Let's get that bad boy going. Frequency sheet. Oh, don't worry about it. Maddie Conrad. Don't sweat it. Kilo improved club. Okay, well, here's all the kilo stuff. 50, 235, 340. That is what we were looking for. Obviously, the 50. The 50 comes from the fact that European countries use 50 hertz electronic transmissions because that is what AEG chose back in the day, whereas Westinghouse in America chose 60 hertz. I think Britain uses 50 hertz as well. Yeah, they do. So pretty much only American boats use 60 hertz. If you see ships of another country using 60 hertz, they're probably ships that the U.S. sold to someone, like Perry's to Taiwan or Burke's to Japan. Okay, under the layer seems pretty quiet right now. We're looking with the TB-23. What's the good toad on the LA? Does anyone know? I know the fast toad is the TB-16. I think the TB-23 might be the Seawolf toad. I don't remember what it is. Oh, your name was unfortunately very hard to read as well. Oh, the crazy Ivan. Not particularly. I have not particularly considered playing command naval air operations. I prefer this.
All ahead 1/3. Helm
Oh god, I thought I just ordered like all ahead flank. I was about to freak out. I pressed a button by accident.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I like the tactical control of a single ship here. This is what I like. This is what I like doing. It's possible. I tried Naval Warfare Arctic Circle, and that was all right. I don't know. It had decent graphics, but it was just kind of like, kind of want to be in the thick of it, play as a single boat. I think something like Command Naval Air Operations could be fun if you had like some kind of game that had like a huge multiplayer contingent where like you have people playing as individual ships, and then you got like a fleet commander, a la Battlefield, but for like Navy. That could be fun. Okay, so the toad beneath the layer does not seem to be doing anything for us, but the layer is it's a very unfortunate depth for my purposes. It's very inconvenient because we have a very rough sea state right now. It's probably sea state 5 at least. That might be 7. That's pretty rough. You probably will stay shallow. Yeah, that's a good point. So let's go ahead and just
retrieve the starboard toad array.
Toad. We were seeing. We're seeing people on the spherical. We could bring in some toad. If I got a little deeper, I could get away from some of the surface clutter. Kind of want to see what that toad will do for us. I'm not sure what length I'm gonna have to have that out so that it will stay above the layer. We're not even halfway down to the layer yet of our keel, so it should be decent. I like on the Russian boats how it gives you the depth of the toad. They replaced the signal to noise ratio field with that. But we got ourselves a noisy environment. Should probably take a peek. So these are biologics right here. No frequency data, but loud broadband. I'm sure it's shrimp. Nope, that's a whale. A whale, Beaumont, a whale. A marine animal that knows a hell of a lot more about sonar than you. Now train on over to 161, and let's try it again. What is this here? This does not look like a biologic. This was faint and then got stronger. This could potentially be something. That might still be a biologic too. I'm seeing 0 frequency. If you're seeing it on the broadband, you should for sure be able to see frequency data. If it has frequency data to emit. Keep on hearing the Mission Impossible. No, this is not a gin and tonic. This is a margarita. on the rocks that I made by myself. I'm a big boy. No, it's 2 parts tequila, 1 1/3 part Cointreau, and then 2/3 part lime juice. Very strong, very good. Okay, are we seeing anyone on this? Was I calling it the cylindrical? It's the spherical. I'm so used to Russian boats at this point. Speaking of Russian boats, I have no idea what's going on in that Lotto mission. I have no clue. I should have been more patient. Like, I'm in a Lotto. I'm in a state-of-the-art diesel electric submarine, and I'm being surrounded by smoke boats. That can be called smoke boats because they are old. Am I the only person? Oh, is the Mission Impossible theme, was that supposed to be like a, are you trying to be witty? Because if you're trying to be witty, I just now got that. Yeah, not seeing any frequency on the spherical here. What about on the hull, the conformal? Oh shit! Of course.
Steam the starboard towed array.
I always do that. I always do this.
Stream the starboard towed array.
I always do this. Never fails. Oh, it's probably the biologics for some reason. These are biologics. We should be hearing like a... It's like a whale. It's a whale Beaumont. And they're decently distant, but moving right to left. There's lots of other seemingly distant biologics here or something. Yeah, this seems particularly quiet. I don't know why. I should be hearing the broadband noise. I'm not sure why I'm not. Well, I did turn the game down. Let me turn it back up. I'm sure it's gonna be like even loud. I'm just gonna put it back down to 5, half volume like I had before. We'll just leave it there. It's fine. Don't really necessarily have to hear it. Ooh, look at this. This got stronger and then got weaker, but it's straight up and down, which signifies distance. So I'm not sure what this strength is. It could be a whale that's like swimming around, kind of popped up above the layer, went back down. Hey, how's it going? LA688I. I enjoy your username. I guess I am inside. I'm not. I can't finish that sentence. I don't know. I can't. It doesn't feel right. How's this toad looking? Oh, it always seems to come back in quicker than it goes out. That's what she said. I'm gonna try and avoid doing that. My friends hate me when I do that. I always do that. I'm gonna bring this back in. None of my other boats are at link depth. It does have a banded screw in RA. I'm not sure how many 688i boats actually have that. I know for quote-unquote certain that the Cheyenne has it. I don't think it does anything akin to pump jet. I think it's mainly there for towed purposes, to keep the towed from going into the prop. I'm not it could possibly be there for anti-cavitation purposes, but I'm not sure. Because it's not a full-born pump jet. No one who plays DW has friends. Well, I had friends before I started playing DW. Is that how that works? I don't know. I started playing Subcommand back in like 2002. I've been at this for frickin' 14 years, man. The wake of the sail or the wake of the tip of the prop? Where's our toad at? It seems to be just about good on the acuity side. Let's see what we can see right now. We're about 33% slack. Wake of the sail. The prop would cut the wake of the sail. Are you talking about like the Russians' ability to detect wakes or something? Oh, here we go. That is a fishing boat, if I ever saw one. Got intermittent frequency. It's a fishing boat starting and stopping right there. That would be fun. If they got some... Once you start delving into like the period piece type missions, you have to start making a lot of old type ships. But you could do like Cuban Missile Crisis recreation stuff. That would be fun. Rictiga RA 1.41 has a Sturgeon class coming out in it, so that's going decently far back. Have the old Sturgeon class there going on. And RI 1.41 has some more Chinese boats, which I want to see more of. I want to see more Chinese boats. That's where the fun's going to come from. Okay, this is we got ourselves a more constant frequency here going on. 50 as well. Or was that our fishing boat? No, never mind. I lied. Forgive me, I lied. I'm Gary Oldman from Air Force One. That's what that was. I saw that recently. More trawler. That appears to be biologic. Those biologics may as well be playing Mission Impossible theme. This is going to be a tough mission, man. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to try and find this guy. Let's see. Windows 10. There's actually a Tom Clancy SSN campaign on SubSim. I haven't played it. My friend played it. He said it was good. Yeah, I just read, if you guys are looking for an interesting book, Dead Wake. It's about the sinking of the Lusitania. It talks about some World War I sub-combat. Good book. Highly recommended. I just finished it. But yeah, World War I had subs, and I would not want to be on a World War I sub. That was back when they had, like, you know, nets to catch subs in. Oh, that's some fun stuff right there, man. Okay, so right now it's all quiet on the Western Front. All we're seeing is intermittent fishing boats. I'm not sure what a sub snorkeling looks like, but I'm assuming it's going to be a constant thing. The name of what? The book? Is Dead Wake? Dead Wake? Yeah, they had, like, you know, harpoon guns to, like, hit whales. That's the kind of harpoons they had in World War One. Look at all these biologics, jeez. Bill Nichols likes his biologics, that's for certain. If none of you have played the Red Storm Rising campaign, I would highly recommend it. You got yourself... How many videos was my campaign of that? 80 or something? There's a lot of hours to put into the Red Storm Rising campaign there. Oh, did they really? One of the stories they talked about in this book was the skipper was trying to crash dive because like a British destroyer was coming up on him, but they lost control, so the bow of the ship got stuck in the bottom of the North Sea, and they felt like a shuddering going throughout the ship, like the sound was going up and down in frequency, and it turns out that like it was at such an angle that the props were sticking out. It was a really rough sea, so sometimes the props would be underwater, and then sometimes they were exposed, and just like craziness, man. The Red Storm Rising campaign. I think someone made an RA version because Fryjohn, to pluck him again on YouTube, was he was doing the Red Storm Rising campaign, but he was playing on Linux and ran into issues with that and hasn't resumed it. But I plugged him in a few videos, but yeah, because it needs to be tweaked because RA has two different versions of the parry. There's the user version and the AI version. Yeah, the mission with the ice is a pain in the ass. Is that where you're meeting the? Is that where you're meeting up with the Trafalgar? And in the stock game, the Trafalgar and the Kula sound basically exactly the same. It was 79 videos. Man, that was such a long campaign. I want to redo that because the campaign when I did it, I was doing it in single mission mode, and it's supposed to be, it's supposed to have a campaign. It's supposed to keep tally of your results from previous missions. And but when I first started it, I was on one computer, and then I reformatted, and I tried to do the second mission again, where you have to force the sub to the surface. And I just, for the life of me, couldn't get it to happen. So I was like, I got impatient. I just ended up doing it with quick missions, but I would want to do that with campaign style. Yeah, that mission is hell. It's interesting coming back to the American boats from the Russian boats because you get so used to squalls. Like, squalls are amazing. They're so good. And the Lada has squalls. Like, give me a break. Like, rest in peace, good sir. What do you mean they seem to be broken in RA? Because frickin' as soon as you start launching supersonics, those SMs lose a lot of effectiveness. Alright, what am I doing? I'm kind of just like steady state cruising here. We're probably going to have to go underneath the layer and sprint and drift around, try and find other boats, because I just don't have much information to go on right now. This is very sketchy. Trying to find a kilo out here is worse than trying to find a needle in a haystack. Like, give me a break. Okay, but it says my area is supposed to be near here, the Birdwood Bank, but it doesn't really give us like a range around the Birdwood Bank to stay around. Within the next 24 hours? Oh, God. What have I gotten myself into the next 24 hours? Jeez. Oh, that kind of broken. Okay. I thought you meant OP. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, the Squall max range, I keep trying to, I just need to say it as the English translation. The Squall max range is like 6 nautical miles, which is when I engage people normally anyway with conventional torpedoes. So it's it's not particularly a knife fight weapon for me. I still consider it kind of, when I'm conventionally engaging people, unless of course you're using like ass rocks or SSN 27 ASWs. You are right, despairing squid, but to a point. There's a thing called the critical angle. So say for example, the critical angle is such that, so it's like, I'm trying to find something to show, but you know how like I'm not sure if you know how fiber optics work, but you have like a tube and light like bounces up and down inside this tube. But if it's at too steep an angle called the critical angle, it won't bounce back. It'll just, kind of go away. The same happens with sound. So like if you're underneath the layer here, the sound will bounce up and down like this. But if you're here and the enemy contact is like up here, the sound's just going to go right through the layer. It's because the angle's too steep. At that point, the layer is basically, it doesn't exist. So for example, like what I have on the screen here, this could potentially be like where the critical angle happens, and then the layer effectiveness goes away. The enemy is coming from the north. Enemy is transiting the Falkland Islands. South of the Falkland Islands within the next 24 hours. So, somewhere around here. This freaking like 400 square mile area. Yeah. And the Kilo doesn't have a toad. So the Kilo is at a distinct disadvantage in blue water combat because it doesn't have a toad. So we're going to have to be really close to that guy, even at flank, for him to hear us. Based on experiments I've done, the Kilo won't hear me at flank until I'm, within like 8 nautical miles of it. So, let me actually bring that up. I will look at that right now. Tactical speed, Excel spreadsheet. Okay, at flank speed with no cavitation, the Kilo won't hear me until about 10 nautical miles away, so we're good on that front. We don't have to worry about that. More or less. Especially if we're underneath the layer and he's not. Like, we can get right up on him with flank speed just about, and he won't be none the wiser. He won't be none the wiser, alright. I will get to that. I will get to that. So what we've done so far in that is Akula 3 listening to Seawolf, LA, and Trafalgar, and I want to get like LA listening to a few Russian boats, and then I'll go ahead and post that. But cavitation, like the video I posted, makes a big difference. Do not cavitate ever. So I can finally show it here. So let's say you're going flank speed and someone can't hear you until you're 10 nautical miles away like this. If you start cavitating, that goes up by 4, so the range goes up. The range goes up by double approximately. So right here you got this little circle. So if you start cavitating, it goes up to this, which is 4 times the area of this. So this is you cavitating, and this is you not cavitating at the same speed. So do not cavitate, because people here will be able to hear you. So avoid that. But yeah, we're going deep. We are going deep. Let's get on out here, because we're not. I'm gonna do one last little sweep, and then we're going deep, transiting somewhere. Not sure where I should go. Maybe more north. Where will you go? To the north. That is a reference, and I'm not sure many of you will get. If you get that, please let me know you know that reference. That is 4 times the area. So 2 times the radius means 4 times the area, because area is proportional to a dimension squared. So 2 squared is 4.
Alright. Retrieve the starboard towed array. Helm aye.
I don't know why I'm doing Russian voice. Okay. 500 feet. I'll be good.
Make my depth 500 feet. Dive aye.
Let's go northeast. Northeast.
Come
we'll
left to course 023.
We'll do all
Helm all ahead
here.
2/3. Helm aye.
It's all good. Don't sweat it. Oh, the ice is melting. I should probably turn my AC down a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Give me a sec. Building my own sub. What does that mean? Okay, so I'm thinking about... Okay, so we have options here. Have you ever considered drowning? What? That sounds mean. Okay, so option 1, we can run at whatever speed will allow the TB-16 to not be washed out the fast towed, or we can just run at flank and kind of sprint and drift. I'm kind of leaning towards the latter because we're not going to be able to hear the Kilo on the TB-16 anyway. It's not a very sensitive array there, but it's good for when you're running at speed. Your thoughts on the matter? Have you guys seen the Colombian cartel drug smuggling submarines? Alright, we are under the layer. Toad is coming in.
All ahead standard. Helm aye.
Let's get Boogie in here. We are still... Okay, so I mentioned at one point that I wanted to make... cavitation tables. Someone already has. They're all in SubSim. I found it the other day. So I'm going to actually bring that up. I think I put that in my tactical speed sheet. So what these cavitation tables tell you is at what depth you need to be to avoid cavitation. Yeah, they are semi-submersibles. That is true. Cavitation table. Here we go. So 688I, for me to not cavitate at flank speed, I need to be beneath 466 feet. So we might be good here at around 500 feet. I imagine they should be. I've not tested it yet. A Virginia with 16-inch deck guns. I think a 16-inch deck gun has a greater... Like, if you were to look at a 16-inch deck gun from the top, I think it would have a greater area than the front of a frickin' LA. Okay, that toad is just about in. Remember, as you're going faster, it takes longer to bring the toad in. Because you already have 15 knots drag, and as you're bringing the toad in, it has a speed to it, so you're giving the toad, like, 18 knots drag, so the toad can only come in so quickly. I'm going to go to 600 feet. Because that seemed to be, like, approximately around the cutoff area for, like, not cavitating at flank. So
all ahead full
here.
Helm aye. Stream the starboard towed array. Helm aye. Retrieve the starboard towed.
I'm shooting the port towed array. I want to say if we still have acuity on this bad boy at this speed, we may. Oh no. Just about done with my drinky drink. Well, I was trying to click the multiplayer thing. We're not playing multiplayer right now. Now it looks like we're going... I think 18 knots is the washout for the TB-16 here.
Make turns for 18 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Go ahead and lapse a little bit of time. Yeah, just about... Oh, look at that little kink from letting the toad out. That's interesting. Okay, we're getting some acuity back here. Okay, so right now the method of playing Dangerous Waters in multiplayer is using Tungle, but there is another app called Evolve, which is a lot easier to use. I might make a video on that soon, but Evolve is definitely nice. But Tungle is where a lot of people go. You can find a tutorial on how to set that up on SubSim, but you go there on a weekend, you'll probably find about an average of like 3 or 4 people hanging out in there trying to play. Okay, so we have a little bit of acuity here at 18 knots. What happens if we do like 16 with this TB-16
Make
here?
turns
So
for 16
if you
knots.
weren't
Maneuvering
aware,
aye.
the LA has 2 different toads. The port toad is the TB-16. This is not as sensitive, but it doesn't wash out until, around this kind of speed. Or you have the... I never remember which one is the starboard one, but it's like TB-23 or something like that. And this is more sensitive. This is good for lower speeds, but it washes out quicker. So right now I'm trying to see, like, what kind of range, what kind of acuity we'll get on the TB-16. It looks like 18 knots, maybe 17 is right around where it starts to lose effectiveness. But right now it seems to be... We're pretty much probably all alone down here, so I'm just going to bring this back in.
Stream the port towed array. Helm aye. Retrieve the port towed array. Helm aye.
Yeah, I think DW Edit, I think it actually comes with mods. I could be wrong on that, but I think I've seen it with Wami or RA. I think it comes with them. Go all ahead full.
All ahead full. Helm aye.
I think it comes with them here. Anything on the high freak? Do we have a kilo right in front of us? No. Good. Okay. I turn that off. It's fine. Not really. It's not like you're playing Call of Duty or something where you need that really good latency to, get headshots and shit like that. But, no, the lag doesn't really affect you too much in Dangerous Waters. Because it's not very fast-paced. You don't need that same precision. On SubSim, it's... Sorry, I just bumped the mic. I apologize for that. So on SubSim, it is under the tips section. Maybe if you go on Google and search SubSim tips Dangerous Waters, it'll bring it up. I'm gonna Google it right now. SubSim tips Dangerous Waters. Okay, subsim tips comes up. Click that. Go to dangerous waters, and then just search on cavitation. And then it'll be NZM30's cavitation table. And then there's a cavitation table there for you. The Seawolf cavitates at 100 less feet approximately at max speed than the LA does. That's the pump jet. It increases the pressure with that pump jet there. Okay, we are down here. We are queer. We're here. We're queer.
All ahead flank. Helm aye.
Let's get a little further north here. Let me turn my history on. How far do we want to run? Let's run for 10 minutes maybe. I'll probably speed it up a little bit. Yeah, it only goes to 30 knots. Whereas the Seawolf and the Kula both go to 35 knots. And the LA goes to 33 knots for that matter. In RA at least. That might be the same as in stock. I know in stock the LA goes to 35. In stock the Seawolf might go to 37. All I know is I saw a video. It was like a documentary about the Seawolf on sea trials. And when they took it out and ran it at flank for the first time, they were so surprised as to how fast it went that they told the engineers, and the engineers told them it couldn't go that fast. So I'm thinking the Seawolf definitely goes faster than 35 knots. I'm thinking 37 or 38 is how fast the Seawolf goes. If the engineers were that surprised with it. You mean like a jet ski? Is there any sub with like a jet ski pump jet? I don't think so. But I could be wrong. I think torpedoes might have. I think some torpedoes may have that. But there's different kinds of pump jets according to what I've seen on Wikipedia. You think faster than 37 or 38 knots? I always get it confused, but I think the power required to overcome drag goes up with the cube of velocity. So like each extra knot you're adding, you need so much more power. Oh, I can see the bottom. Oh, we're getting into shallows. Oh, we are. Ooh, geez. Okay, I'm glad I looked at that because we are like slated to run aground in like 6 minutes here or something like that. We are getting into shallows. Okay. So we're about to get into like quote unquote littoral operations, even though we're in the middle of the sea. We're on like a ridge, continental shelf kind of thing here. Interesting. This is really... Oh my god, look how shallow that is. Jeez, that's like 60 feet. Good lord. I gotcha. Yeah, I learned the old the cube thing from I learned the cube thing from when I took what is it? Vehicle dynamics in undergrad. There was an elective in mechanical engineering called vehicle dynamics. Was it there or was it? No. Sorry, that was an internal combustion engines. But you know, they both deal with cars. It's just about the same thing. Two different classes though. So the bottom is quickly approaching here. Oh, you learned that from fluid dynamics. Okay. Do you have a degree in mechanical engineering? LA 688I. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna flank until we get onto the shelf here, and then I'll pop up above the layer and we'll see what we get. Oh, you're a nuclear. Okay, cool. I was very close to minoring in nuclear. I took a few classes on nuclear. I do nuclear for my profession right now, actually, but not reactors. I do packaging, so transport of radioactive material. But I'm seriously considering getting my master's in nuclear because it's like, oh, you still have the mechanical degree or whatever. Which sub am I on? The USS Columbia. Oh, hello, Stefan Bear. You were in Groton for 6 months at sub school. Oh, you're talking to him. Sorry. You know which sub I'm on. You can read it up here. Yeah, we're fast approaching the shelf. I'm gonna speed up the time a little bit. We got a little ways to go still before we get onto the shelf, but we're getting there. We're getting close. We are getting close. Очень близко, as you would say in Russian. Ah, DDG. Very well. Alright, yeah, that bottom's coming up quickly. It is coming up quickly. Very well. How are we looking on our charts here? We still got maybe 2 nautical miles to go before I'm gonna pop the cork and get ourselves shallow here. I will try not to run aground. I will not pull a USS. Which boat did that? Was it the Hawaii? Did you guys see that on Wikipedia? There was an LA that like hit a mountain at flank speed, and the front of it is just like this whole part right here is like missing. Have you seen that? Have you seen pictures of that? Look that up. It's craziness. Greenville. There you go. I think that's what it was. Was it that? All right, let's go all ahead full.
All ahead full.
7, 9 feet. Dive I.
Yeah, front got all busted up. I think they did the captain get honorably discharged after that or something? I feel like something along those lines happened. Did they have old charts? Okay. I mean, I guess you could get a decently sized volcano in the matter of like a few decades. Was it the Greenville that surfaced into that fishing boat off Hawaii? Was that the Greenville? I guess so. What was the one that hit the mountain? That wasn't the Miami. What was that one? I don't remember. Oh, where's that cavitate? Am I about to cavitate here? I am going to cavitate. We're going to have to do all ahead standard here. All ahead standard. Hell my. Well, I should be slowing down more than that anyway. We're already above the layer. We're going to go down to our 3-knot crawl.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuver
word of advice, if you play as a Virginia or Seawolf, do not do the 3-knot crawl. You're wasting your time. You can move around at 6 or 7 knots and no one will hear you, or even 8 knots. Like, if you're Seawolf or Virginia, push that speed. You can do it. But as an LA, you should probably stay around 3 or 4 knots. San Francisco. There you go. That is it. That sounds like a winner chicken dinner right there. Yeah, it's a shame how the Miami went down. I always like to try and play as the Miami as much as possible just to honor that boat, because that was a shitty way for that to go out. But at least I guess they I think they scrapped it to use for other boats potentially. Yep, even with LA. I love me some LA, but the Seawolf in Virginia can run circles around it. It is insane how quiet those boats are.
Stream the starboard towed array. Helm I.
What's our sphere? Oh, we have some decent acuity on the spherical down here. Yeah, there are a lot of engineers in here. I'm surprised. I like it. Get a PhD? I don't know. If I get a master's, I'm not even sure I'm going to get a master's of science. I think I'm going to try and go for a master's of engineering. I don't feel like doing research, man. I don't want to come home from work and do research. I don't know. Anyone got thoughts on masters of engineering versus masters of science? Feel free to voice your opinions. Did I order 200 feet? No, I didn't. I thought I did.
Make my depth 200 feet. Dive I.
Yeah, I know you still got to do homework. Homework's not a problem. Homework is fine with me. Research is just daunting. If you scrape the sub on the bottom, you're going to take damage. Yeah, I looked it up online, and they're like, if you want to do research, get the Masters of Science, but if you're just trying to, like, help your engineering career, Masters of Engineering is fine. I want to get to Groton because the USS Nautilus is a museum there. That would be cool to check out. Very cool to check out. I live near Baltimore, and they have the USS Scorpion. No, that's right. That's wrong. That's wrong. Do not say that. I don't know what it is. There's a submarine that's like a museum submarine in the Baltimore Inner Harbor. The Nautilus Museum. Well, I expect most museums to be free. That's usually how it works. But maybe I'm spoiled because I live near DC and all the Smithsonian's are free. Is it the Torsk? I guess the Torsk sounds right. Yeah, I could see that for chemistry. Well, there's a difference between like chemist and chemical engineer, though. I'm gonna stop this just so the toad can, like, you know, catch up because it might be underneath the layer right now. No, I think it's good, but I'll do this for the time being. So as you can, we're coming up shallow. We lost a little bit of acuity. You might be able to see that gradient there. I want to see that foxtrot so badly. And what are you relaying me about, TJ? What are you relaying me about? What is that snark? I went on that Torsk when I was like a kitty babe. I don't remember much from it. But it would be cool to check that out again, except I hate going to Baltimore because you have to park. Like DC, because you can just take the metro. You don't have to worry about that crap. I hate driving in cities so much. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Okay, this is starting to come up shallow. It's taking a little bit. Let's just lapse some time. Okay, there you go. Start letting out some more slack.
Stream to starboard towed array. Helm aye.
I think we have about as much acuity as we're gonna get, though. I think we're good on that front. It looks pretty homogeneous. All right, see you, Despairing Squid. Thanks for joining me. This will be up on YouTube eventually, so you can check out the rest. Okay, we got ourselves our fishing boats back. Fishing boat back in action. Okay, well I basically just saw like all that there, and there wasn't much going on reciprocal wise, except for this little section over here. Those seem to be biologics. What? Food chain? What are you talking about, food chain? What is food chain Muslims? Scorpion mistake almost made. Which is that? What is the scorpion mistake? The theory as to how the scorpion sank that has the most credibility is some kind of battery failure with hydrogen leakage and a hydrogen explosion that leads the most credence as to how the scorpion sank. Are you talking about the light rail? Yeah, I guess you could use the light rail. I always forget about the light rail. I could park near like BWI and take the light rail up. I should do that. It would be cool to see the Torsk. I want to see that foxtrot though. That would be cool. Yeah, the book I just read called Red November talks about some metallurgical guy who examined it, and it seems like based on what I've read in that book, the most credible theory is a battery explosion due to hydrogen gas generation. But yeah, people like to say it was a Soviet boat that sunk it in response to the quote-unquote American submarine that collided with that Gulf in the Pacific or whatever. There's a tape of it being... well, I don't know if you can discern how it was sunk on that tape. It's just, there's 3 booms on that tape. Okay. I've driven through Norfolk before on the way to OBX, Outer Banks. Took some pictures of aircraft carriers in Arleigh Burke. Arleigh Burks. Much Burks abound, but no Tycons. Okay, so we still don't have anything around here. Okay, it's only been an hour. Not bad. I keep thinking I'm seeing something promising, but it's these damn fishing boats. I have red blind mines buff. Where's this tape supposedly coming from? I know the Sosa's tapes exist, but those just show like boom, boom, boom. And it's like all that's on the Sosa's tapes. I have read Blind Man's Bluff, but it's been a long time. Let me go grab this other book that I just finished. Highly recommended. What? Oh, shut up, Rent-A-Cow. Okay, so here's the book. Red November. It's a pretty good book. The first half deals with like the Cuban Missile Crisis. The author's dad was involved with triangulating Soviet subs based on burst transmissions. And then the second half deals with the author, his time as a fire control tech, and also as a Navy diver. So this is a really good read. Highly recommended. The Cuban Missile Crisis was scary. They sent 4 Foxtrots to guard Cuba, and or to like run the blockade or whatever, and they all had 2 nuclear torpedoes each, and they all came very close to launching them. It's scary stuff. Very good. I recommend it highly. But I had to it freaked me out, man. I had to like take a chill. I had to go back to like I had to like go to fictional books after that. It freaked me out. Just how close like the Cuban Missile Crisis came to annihilation. It's scary. Okay, so we should secure from where we are now.
The starboard towed array.
Keep running.
Helm
You're still talking about the early 60s. I think Demon had been invented at that point, but if they're running on electric juice, you're not really going to hear them that readily, especially back then. They weren't, I mean, no, they weren't like as quiet. I'm not sure at what point. I mean, I'm sure like America boats were starting to be quiet around then, but I mean, it's still like a diesel electric. It's still going to be rather quiet. They ran around undetected for a little bit, or like, you know, undetected by like actual on the scene ASW assets. But like one of the things that Kennedy sent to Khrushchev as like mediating the end of the crisis was like the positions of all these Foxtrot submarines, like exactly their positions. Yeah, that was fun to read. It's the part of like the Cuban Missile Crisis that doesn't get talked about much, and I guess because since nothing happened from it, they don't talk about it. But it's like some of these guys like literally seconds away from like pressing the button. Scary stuff.
All ahead 2/3. Helm on.
Oh, I hate thinking about it. Okay, so what are we?
All
well,
ahead
hold on. We need to reconsider our
0 feet. Dive eye.
our
Make
potential to
turns
run
for
around
3
flank
knots.
because
Maneuvering eye.
we are on a continental shelf now. What's our layer at? 452. The layer's deeper than it was. I'm gonna launch a probe. It's best to launch those probes closer to the surface because it has to float up to the surface anyway before it starts descending. So it's best to launch those from the surface. If you launch it deep, it's gonna take a long time to update. USS Dolphin. I'm assuming that is a... What class is that? Is that like a skipjack? Back when the Navy still named submarines after fish. And not states or cities. Okay, so we can, you know, kind of run around here, but this is definitely kilo territory. This shallower water. Let's go ahead. Let's get the wire out here. We'll see if there's anything to glean from topside. We've been going for about an hour here almost. Yeah, San Diego sounds fun. For some reason, I want to check out LA too. I don't know why. Always wanted to, even though it's like worse traffic than DC. Oh, and this book also has the only, as far as I know, the only, what's the word I'm looking for? The only narrative, I guess, as to what happened between an American and Victor 3's submarine collision that you guys may have heard about. And the author actually details which boat. He was on the boat when it collided with that Victor 3, so that was also very interesting to read about as well. AGSS. Oh, so some kind of specialized thing. Yeah, I've also thought about that if the U.S. Navy should have some very fancy diesel electrics, but I mean, I don't know. The United States is still very much isolated from the rest of the world. I mean, not many countries can send naval resources here at all besides like Russia if they wanted to, and that's like 1 or 2 boats at a time because half their Akulas are like being like in dry dock right now or something. Okay, what's our layer at now? 452 still? I wish this had better, like, you know, like how when you're looking at like a map and you have like the topographical lines, what are they called again? The lines of constant elevation. I want that for here so I can tell, like, you know, the gradients, because like the color doesn't do it for me. I just want like the lines, the topographical lines. Is that bathyotherm? Bathyotherms? Yeah, I think I turned links off just to be safe. I don't know. Can I post a link? I don't know. Oh, is it still streaming? Okay. There's still nothing on that, so yeah, just bring that back in. That's fine. Oh, man. This is a potentially long one. Potentially long as hell. Let's see. Is there anything else to glean from this? Haven't gotten any kind of other transmissions to refine our search at all yet. We'll pass south of the Falkland Islands within the next 24 hours. I hope this isn't like a 24-hour mission. I've never played one of those. We're near the Birdwood Bank. Clear to shoot only at positive ident kilo. Yep, it is called air-independent propulsion. Yeah, you would think this area would just be crawling with ASW assets, but I don't know. Maybe it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. But still, I feel like ASW assets, air assets, should be able to get here quicker than subs. But yeah, in my videos where I play the Lada class Russian SSK that also uses air-independent propulsion, it basically just means it can run its diesels underwater. It doesn't have to snorkel as frequently. It still has to snorkel at some point, but not nearly as frequently as like a boat without air-independent propulsion that can only use batteries when it's submerged. Yeah, we're getting to like a point where like stuff can just like never be detected. I'm not sure how that's gonna be. Have any of you guys read the Jim Buff series of submarine books? Deals with like futuristic super subs that have ceramic hulls that can dive to like 10,000 or 15,000 feet. Have any of you guys read like the Jim Buff books? Air independence more, well, I mean, I guess the range doesn't matter on the air independency. But yeah, I mean, they could, if Russia tried to do anything in the Baltic Sea, like the Germans could hold their own there. So no one's read the Jim Buff books? Where was I even going with that? Oh, they had like a method of sonar detection in that game called like hole in the water detection. So like the author postulated that subs would get so quiet at one point that you would detect them by like how quiet they are compared to their surroundings. Like they block a certain sound of the ocean, and that's like hole in the water detection. Yeah, Jim Buff. I think it's Jim Buff. The books are weird. They're kind of weird in the sense that like Germany rises again, and you have tactical nuclear war, but not strategic nuclear war. So you have like nuclear torpedoes and nuclear cruise missiles, but no like ICBMs or anything. Search Deep Sound Channel book. Joe Buff. It's Joe Buff. There you go. Joe Buff. Not Jim Buff. Joe Buff. I've read like 3 of his books. I read Deep Sound Channel, Thunder in the Deep, and Crush Depth. Oh, see you, Matt Conrad. Nice having you here. But yeah, Joe Buff is what you want to check out there. It looks like he made all his books like in the early aughts and hasn't made any since. Oh, there's one from 2006. The Joe Buff books are interesting. These ceramic subs, they go to like 10,000 or 15,000 feet. They have top speeds of like 50 some knots. It's like crazy stuff. And they just like, one of the scenes in one of the first books talks about just, it's the Deutschland, it's the Germany boat. It's built by Russia, but the Germans buy it. And it's just like, it's just running in circles around Virginia class subs. It's just ridiculous. The American boat that they use is the Challenger. The USS Challenger, that's the American boat that can dive to 15,000 feet or whatever, what have you. Nuts. Nutso stuffo. Alright, I'm going to grab a beer. Brewski. And we're going to figure out what to do. I think I'm just going to keep trying to move further north. But it just gets so shallow. And I'm not going to circle around. And it gets really deep here and then really shallow again. It's interesting. There's like a little valley here. It is very deep. Did you put Deep Sound Channel, Thunder in the Deep, and Crushed Up on your list? I have Blue Moon Belgian White. Nothing special. Girlfriend bought it, but it's beer. Okay. So we need to get boogieing. We need to get moving. I guess we can run around, you know, at a TB16, like near TB16 washout speed. I'll hit standard here. I watched Last Resort. I wanted it to be good, and it was all right. But I did watch Last Resort. I actually watched it live too. I didn't like stream it later. I watched it like as it aired. It is very silly. The problem is, okay, so like, it's very easy to convey the tension of like a submarine situation in a book, but I'm not sure why it doesn't necessarily translate to the big screen as easily. Because like, whenever you read a book about like submarine stuff, well, quote unquote rogue. I'm not sure if this is a spoiler to say what it actually is or not. Would you guys consider it a spoiler to say what the actual situation is?
Stream the port towed array, helm aye.
It worked in Crimson Tide up like about halfway through. I didn't really care for the last half of the movie. Stand aside. Oh, that's such a waste of James Gandolfini, such a good actor, and didn't do much in that movie.
Make my depth
Okay,
400
this
feet.
Ohio was
Bye-bye.
quote unquote framed by like, it ended up being like a corrupt American government that was trying to betray them anyway. So like the Ohio was actually in the clear, but it was like this, like quote unquote being framed as rogue, you know, like political stuff.
All ahead 2/3. Helm aye.
All ahead 2/3. Light that up, son. Let's go for that stuff. All right, to go. I need to be at least 193 feet deep to not cavitate at standard. So we're good on that front. So standard.
All ahead standard. Helm aye.
I don't smoke weed, man. How was the last ship? Is that good? I've wanted to check that out. Am I the only one that hates Navy fatigues these days? Like, I like the Red October, like what Mancuso wears in Red October. I like that. I don't like these Navy fatigues. I don't know. Do you guys like the Navy fatigues? Okay. There's a Last Ship book. It's based on a book. Okay, so maybe now with our towed out, we can potentially see something. We got our TB-16 going crazy. See, I'm not even picking up the fishing boats. Oh, no, we actually are getting a fishing boat. Was that a fishing boat or is that a trawler? What is this? Whoa. Is this... Ah, damn it. Of course it's going to break up. Is it really? Okay. It sounds like an interesting premise. That was there, and then it, okay, well that dropped off completely, though. That was there, and it dropped off completely. What is that? That's interesting. I don't want that
Retrieve the
much
port
now.
towed array. Helm aye.
What was that? It was there, and it dropped off. That seems suspect. Because the trawlers, you know, they go like on and off and on and off. Possible. Let's go ahead and turn here.
Come left to course 323. Helm aye.
Let's go ahead and turn it up. Let me check out that tactical speed calc note. So the going down to 20 knots from 32 knots doesn't really affect the max detection range that much if you're not cavitating on like a cylindrical or a conformal. But maybe at 15 it does affect it, so I'm expecting maybe like, as long as I'm about 8 nautical miles away from them, it should be about good. Stop. The trawlers, oh, they're just speeding up and slowing down because they're doing fishing stuff. That's just trawler stuff. I mean, I imagine in real life they go like a constant speed. At least when I saw the Perfect Storm, they were, you know, catching the swordfish, but I'm not sure. They model in this game is going on and off. I think that's supposed to be me. That's
Steady
a 60.
on course.
Why am I so,
323.
like, zoomed out on this? Zoom in. Okay, well, there's another little break in it, so I think this is a trawler. I don't think this is anything of note. Thanks for hanging out, Dakamar. See you later. Is that me again? Has to be. Well, it's not a kilo. I know that for sure. So whatever. I do, and I should be able to see that on the narrowband. I would see two different signals of 50 here. The trawler is the one that has the 50, and then the fishing boat is the one that has the 60 first frequency, right? Isn't that how that goes? Ugh. Excuse me. Okay. What do we got? We got stuff moving around, me moving around, baffles, things. Reciprocal, reciprocal, real, real, real. Wait, what? Okay. I guess that was another reciprocal. Yeah, look at that. squirting over. So everything is off to the north and the west, and this it's all in this quadrant. It's all over here. So that's interesting. Oh, that's a whale. It's a whale, Beaumont. A whale. Okay, here's a fishing boat. This is pretty steady thus far. This is really steady. I don't think I would see a kilo that loud. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I'm not sure what a kilo sounds like snorkeling on the surface. I can't say I've ever seen that before. Can't say I have. Is this a whale? No, I don't think it is. Has to be. I'm not seeing any frequency data on it. I wasn't hearing it on the broadband. Doesn't that look like something right there? There's like a little sliver right next to it. I don't know. Not seeing anything. Oh man, I do not know what I've gotten myself into with this mission. This is a long one. This is long. This is a long one. Fishing boat. Fishing boat. I mean, I am looking on the TB16 right now. Oh, make sure you're paying attention, boy. Do not run aground. Good lordy. Good lordy. Heading for that right now. Let's turn this way. Use the C button. I keep forgetting to do that.
038. Hell my.
Now I have the high speed tow deployed right now because I'm running around at standard. But I think the high speed washes out around here. I might still potentially be able to see with the high speed at this speed. But it might wash out around more like 12 or 13 knots or something. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of when it washes out, but I'm thinking of like Russian subs. The Akula washes out around like 12 or 13. In RA, in stock, it washes out at like 7 or 8. It's pretty bad. Am I gonna run aground anytime soon here? Not really. As long as I stay vigilant, it'll be pretty good. But we are pretty close to bottom. The layer is just about almost gone. There's still kind of a layer technically, but you know, to get to it,
steady
it's
on
pretty
course.
close to the bottom
038.
I think I want to head up this way, more towards this label of Birdwood Bank. Transiting south of the Falkland Islands. Well, it has to come south of the Falkland Islands if it's coming this way. It's not really that specific. Intelligence believes that Kilo 630 is headed for South America and will pass south of the Falkland Islands within the next 24 hours. Headed for South America. So it looks like we're expecting something like this. I need to see more of a normal map here. I can't. This 600 by 600 nautical miles is not enough resolution for me. So I'm on Google Maps, but off screen now. Where are we? We're at the Falklands. Okay, so headed for South America. We're near the Cape. We're near Cape Horn here. Cape Horn is around. Say Cape Horn 5 times fast. Say you like Cape Horn 5 times fast. So if this thing's heading for South America, this is South America. Like, it doesn't get any further south than this, basically. So we might want to head this way. I want to look at the extent of the Birdwood Banks. The Birdwood Bank. What is the extent of the Birdwood Bank? That's in Spanish. Anyone here speak Spanish? Okay, so that's like pesca. That's like fish. What's Veda? There's Veda merluza negra. Something about black. That is a very... Okay, thank you very much, Rentacal, for confirmation to target. The Burwood Bank is an undersea bank. The prominence of approximately 110 fathoms. Who fathoms? Projecting some 370 miles from Cape Horn in the South Atlantic and located some 120 miles south of the Falkland Islands. Is there still like an Argentine United Kingdom? Well, post-Brexit, who knows if there's going to be United Kingdom, but you know what I mean. Still quarreling over that. The Birdwood Bank. Terra del Fuego. Terra del Fuego. Okay, Birdwood Bank. So there's like a little... Okay. So this right here, there's like a little channel that goes through here. This is decently deep. This is the bank right here, this part. So my patrol area can't be this whole Birdwood Bank. There's 5 subs in this area. Is near the Birdwood Bank. If they say near, it kind of makes me think I should stay off the shelf. It doesn't seem like they necessarily want me to come onto the bank. They said near the bank. Terra is like that's Latin. That means like land, doesn't it? Oh, that's tierra. I don't know what tierra is. Terra is Latin for like land. Tierra. No, I don't want to translate that to Russian. I'll translate that to Spanish. Oh, other way, wrong way. Earth. Okay, so that's Earth in Spanish. So it's Earth. It's Fire Earth. So this is Fire Earth right here. Tierra del Fuego, Fire Earth. I got you, Rent-A-Cal. Don't sweat it. So I'm almost half inclined to head back out this way. Or just like around these parts. Just hang
Come
out
left
here.
to course
I'm doing
2,
it.
5,
We're hanging out
5,
here.
Helmi.
Let's slow down to all ahead 1/3.
All ahead 1/3. All ahead 1/3. Helmi. Retrieve the port tow array. Helmi.
Out or whatever it is. Let me just look it up. Does it say in here what it is? Flight 3. It is a TB-23. Ah! The Virginia has a TB-26. I think the Seawolf has a TB-26 as well. But this has a TB-23. Wales? Okay. Very well. Sure. Bonk, bonk. Da-boo. I guess we can go a little bit shallower here.
Make my depth 301 feet.
There's like a lot of there's a lot of distant biologics. Okay, TB-16's almost about in. Get that TB-23 streaming.
Stream the starboard towed array. Helmi.
Probably won't need it, the excess air, but might as well charge it. Why not? Didn't want to die alone anyway. Just do it. Doesn't matter. There's a little toad. I guess it always stays horizontal. I like how they actually put a model in for it in RA. A little toad array there. It's like a candy cane or something. Stop. I don't want to have to straighten out too much of this turn as a consequence of this turn here. Oh, did I come out of this turn when I was like changing speed? Well, it seems like we've caught the momentum. So, no problem. This is a potentially very long mission. This may take multiple streams. Once you have a good trace on his engines and you're sure he's a single shaft 5-blader, check the surface to make sure he's not a Japanese trawler or something. At that point, he's a positive ident, and right after that, he's a dead positive I. Why would there be a Japanese trawler all the way over here? Do they come here? That seems like a really far trip. I don't know. Let's check out the cell phone. The text message. Whoa. My phone is freaking out. Okay. My phone was saying it was like 2 hours ago. I was like, no, it is not 2 hours ago, man. Yeah, not surprising. Oh my god, my phone has been lagging so much lately. I have an HTC One M8. It's not really that old, but it seems already like it's swamped with apps. And I don't even have that many apps, but it always seems like it's going slow. But I guess I get an upgrade in about 6 months here. Let's go ahead and exit out of some apps and see if that'll help free this up. Do that. Yeah, thank you. No, I don't care about data usage. No, I don't care. Good. Try explaining bearing ambiguity. It's only something you realize if you have to deal with it. Okay, let's, have we studied on course? Just about. Go ahead and stream
the starboard towed array. Helm aye.
Yeah, it's just a function of towed arrays. I guess the reason they have it set up like that is because it can twist and roll around back there.
Steady
so
on course. 2,
you
5,
can never be certain
5.
of its orientation, I suppose. So it's just like, just report it as coming from both directions, I guess. That's always what I've hypothesized it to be, but I would be curious to know if that's what it really is or if there's a different reason. I don't know. It'd be fun to figure out, learn about. Whoa, hello. Oh, it's me. I got really excited for a second there. Lee, what do we got here? Oh, is this a fishing boat? Or is this going to be something promising? Ah, it's a fishing boat. Son of a bitch. Yeah. Showing it with like... It's definitely much easier to explain it on here, because if like, you know, my course is like, you know, this, and I'm detecting a towed contact here, then it's gonna be reciprocated like here. But then if I turn this way, it's gonna be reciprocated here. So this guy's gonna like move to that point there. So it's definitely easier to explain it with like a map than to look at it on, you know, the waterfall, which is doesn't really convey position that well, besides giving you a number. Hey, what do we got here? Okay, that's probably good. You don't need much more slack than that. You can secure from that. That is fine. Oh, what do we got? I'm gonna chill at 5 knots. That should be good for this kilo. Move this microphone up so I can get, you know, up close and personal. Okay, so we just lost something into the baffles here. What do we got? AC is secured from running. That was me. Okay. Yeah, waterfall isn't going to show unless you're kind of familiar with waterfall. I mean, you can kind of see it here with this, but even then it's like, I don't know what any of this means. Are those fishing boat frequencies? Where's our frequency sheet? Kilo 5235. Nope, not a kilo. 235 is what we're going for our kilo. This has a 294 and a 362. Not what we want. I'm surprised we were seeing that third, but now we're only seeing the second. It's interesting. Anything else out in the agua? This is reciprocal. Out in the agua, that was like combining German and Spanish. Hmm. No, it's still your fishing boat. Still fishing boat. Let's go ahead and... I'm kind of deep. I need to slow down if I want to get that wire up there. Oh no. First yawn. Oh no. Hashtag first yawn. Jeez. Hour and a half. We've been going on for an hour and a half. Could be here for a while patrolling this area waiting for something. We are not going to see this kilo unless it's like snorkeling. Like that's just a fact. We're not going to see this kilo unless it's snorkeling or if it's transiting at a rather high speed. Who knows? This is not really... The kilo is not really... I mean, I guess it could, but like it's still blue water. It's still kind of, you know, this is still the nuclear boats domains, the blue water here. So I wanted to go on the Birdwood Bank, but it said our patrol area is supposed to be near the Birdwood Bank, so I'm assuming, you know, kind of close to where we spawned. I mean, the kilo doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, going to this part of South America. It could be rounding the Cape and going up to, like, Chile or some other Ecuador. I don't know. That might be Central America. I have not checked out HMS Marlken. I may still, but I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet. Seems like it could be fun to check out, but as you guys may or may not know, World War II subs, while interesting, are not particularly what I care for. I like the nuke boats. Could Yankee search and hope to get lucky? That is also true. I have to assume that the kilo would have a bow on perspective, so you know I could potentially detect it out to that far. But it is rather noisy. I haven't figured out how active sonar range deteriorates with noise, and it's kind of shallow. So, not going to go for that yet, trying to active search. It could be. It could be. I'm keen to think it will possibly try and stay near the surface, because the surface is noisier, and it might be able to hide itself in the surface noise. And it may, by some odd twist of fate, it may have to snorkel during its escapade at some point. And that would be a godsend. That would be great. Be amazing. Okay, so we're not seeing anything here. I wish I knew where my friends were, but none of them seem to be near link depth, which is unfortunate. Oh. I would like to see where my friends are, to know where my place is. Oh, don't sweat it. It's fine. Do not sweat it. A lot of people asked me about it, so I can't remember who's asked me. What is that? A whale. A whale, Beaumont. A whale. What is this track? Is that track me with a toe turn? Or is that, no. Is this the whale here and this is the reciprocal? I think so. I think this is the same whale. It's like off due west. Another whale. And another whale. Is this a whale? I'm not hearing anything. See, you go into these contacts and the whale comes up right away, but I'm not hearing whale here. Potentially... No, it's a whale too. I just jacked up my computer's sound by like 4 times, but Still a whale. Thought it might have been shrimp. I could turn allies on, but I'm gonna keep it off for the sake of realism. I don't know, challenge. Left. It looks like it's the right to me, because if this is the whale here, you got these two reciprocals, then you also got it up here too, and it wouldn't make sense for this to be the original contact. These ones are like right on top of each other right here, so I think this is where the whale is, and this is a reciprocal here, and that's a reciprocal there. I like RA better because it has more platforms. It's just, you know, it has more, there's more to do. It's more interesting. Luami adds platforms but not really playable ones, but I don't know. The kind of the undertone is always that Luami is more accurate sonar wise, but I mean, we don't really have a way to gauge that, to determine that. I don't know, but RA is definitely fun with the added platforms there. You play with Neil, like the Neil, like Neil Stevens. There is not an RA manual that summarizes all of it, because a lot of it's not really as in-depth as the Luami manual. I'm assuming you've read the Luami manual 688i, but I think if you're going to want to try and see something like that, I think you're going to have to comb through change logs, unfortunately. Okay, that's who I thought. Damn, that's crazy. I don't know if you guys noticed, but my cavitation video kind of blew up, and that's because one of the subsim guys posted it on the news page. It's almost at 1,000 views right now, which is ridiculous. Oh, speaking of TeamSpeak, I've also found a good alternative to TeamSpeak as well. It's called Discord. It's currently small enough that they're hosting everything themselves, so you don't actually have to host a server. You just make an account and you make a server, and then people can join your Discord, and it has text chat and voice chat and everything. So, you know, always trying to, you know, stay involved with the new stuff. Discord is free, yes. It is free for now. If it gets bigger, they might get ads, or you might have to, like... I was talking to my friend about it. You could probably get to a point where it's like, if you have a free account, you can only have so many people in your server. Because, like, what happens is it's like you have to send invites to the servers. People can't just join your server. You have to send them an invite. So they might limit you to how many people you can invite. And then if you, like, pay something, you can have, like, unlimited or something. I don't know. I do have a Discord server right now, actually. I have to invite some people to it, but I do have one set up. I was planning to make a little bigger, to maybe associate with my Steam account or something like that, or my Steam group, for people to hang out. Because I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but there's an alternative to Tungle called Evolve, which I like better. It's nicer. Tungle can be annoying sometimes, but like Tungle's kind of nice because it kind of combines Evolve and Discord together in one, but it's kind of like dated at the same time, so I don't know. Can I post a link? I'm going to try posting a link. Maybe I can post a link. I can post a link. I'll post a link to my Discord then. I'm going to get that started up. Ooh, I don't know how many of you guys are drinking, but if you guys are drinking, cheers. I'm feeling rather buzzed right now. It's been a while since I've drank, honestly. Ever since I got out of college, and even before then, like 1 or 2 years before I graduated, I pretty much stopped drinking for the most part. Pending. Pending friend invite. What? I already had you as a friend. What is that? I need to evolve. Am I a Pokemon? Okay, let's get ourselves a share. A share button. Let me bring this in.
Retrieve
Let's
the
do
starboard
something. I'm
towed
kinda
array.
just hanging
Hell
out.
my.
Yeah, you don't need Tungle or Evolve. I mean, I've hosted Dangerous Waters games where I've configured my router, but Tungle and Evolve make it easy. Evolve is really easy. You don't need to modify anything because Tungle uses like IPs that the computer isn't used to using for like network stuff, if that makes sense, whereas Evolve does. Evolve was pretty easy. It was definitely easy. It was a little bit easier to set up than Tungle. Okay, I got this scored up. Let me get this this share link. Where the hell do I do this? Again, share button. Use the copy button. Nope, that's not right. Oh, here we go. Whoa, that's interesting. Discord can sense that I'm streaming right now, and it's hiding the share key. That's really cool. Because it didn't usually do that. Here we go though. That should get you all able to join my Discord channel there. Yeah, look at that. Streamer mode is enabled. Stays. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. That's cool. That's awesome. So Discord, you can join it through a web browser or you can download the app. It works as seamlessly if you just launch it in a web browser. You don't have to download it for it to work, but it's just it's a little less CPU intensive if you download the app. Okay, is this towed in? Just about
All ahead 2/3. Hell my. All ahead standard. Hell
here.
my.
Am I good on the cavitation there for standard? I am. Let's get back out to deeper waters here.
Come left to course 2. Come left to course
southerly.
2. 1, 2. Hell my.
Man, pretty. This booze, man. I don't think I should have a drink after this. Oh, there's stuff on the bottom of the drink. Well, that is Blue Moon for you. It's like the unfiltered whatever. So my plan for this Discord channel is to have like, you know, general areas where you can hang out and have separate Dangerous Waters channels for different games or something if you set up different games or something like that. If you use Tungle or Evolve or Direct IP, what have you. I see you all. We got three new members to the group. 3 new members. How many people are in the stream right now? Let's see. We got ourselves 9 people in the stream. Okay. There's only about maybe 3 or 4 of you that are commenting regularly. We've got 9 people in the stream. Very well. Okay, what depth do I need to be to avoid full speed cavitation? We are good. 284 feet. Below that, we do not cavitate at full. So
all ahead full. Hell my.
Very well. We're only surpassing that margin by 16 feet. You know, it's interesting when you think about like it is not bad. Not bad at all. It's interesting when you think about depth in relation. So like how deep is deep. So like, you know, the LA's max depth is modeled at like 1492 feet or something like that, like 1400 feet. It's only like 4 boat lengths basically. It's really not that like deep in relation to how long the boat is. I've always thought that was interesting. You know, like you just stack 4 LAs up, and that's like your crush depth basically. New game U-boat. What's an exaggeration? What's the new game U-boat? I guess I should have my TB. Well, no, I'm at full. I can't hear it anyway. Is it on Steam? An exaggeration in the fact that it should be deeper or it should be shallower? Okay, so I kind of want to go on like a Kickstarter rant right here. If you're going to fund a Kickstarter, be aware that you're basically being a venture capitalist. There's no promise that you're going to get a return on your investment. So I just wanted to say that. I've been wanting to say that for a long time, and now I've said it. So there you go. 1400 sounds. It's 3 inches of steel. It's pretty thick, and it has bulkheads through it. It's not just like, you know, one continuous pressure vessel. There's bulkheads. And it's high yield 80. Like the steels they use for these subs are like high yield strength steels. Yeah, the Seawolf goes to like 2000 ish with this high yield 100 steel. If you're HY80, if you've seen that, the HY means high yield. It's a high yield strength steel. I'm not sure if 1400 is like where crush depth is modeled in this game. I don't think that's where test depth is modeled. That's where crush depth is modeled for the LA is like 1400. And I think test depth is traditionally like 75% or 2/3 of that. So test depth should be like 900 or 700 feet or something like that. Wait, no, not 700. Test depth should be like, yeah, I guess 1,000 or 900 or something like that. But yeah, 1400 is like around like the crush depth for LA supposedly. But then Seawolf is around like 2000 with that high yield. I don't know if its hull is thicker than 3 inches or not, but the high yield 100 is supposedly a decent chunk stronger than the high yield 80. And I think the compositions of those are classified, even though the names aren't. I'm not sure. Yeah, crush depth. Yeah, 1400 test depth. No, yeah, I agree. That's too deep. But yeah, I think 1400 is like around the crush depth. Because the Wikipedia for every U.S. sub ever is always like maximum depth. You know, 800 feet plus is like their official thing. Where's the USS Albacore? Isn't that like, that was the first teardropped hull of a sub, wasn't it? And it was an SSK, wasn't it? Oh yeah, when they were trying to reacquire contact, it's like make your depth 1,200 feet. They went to 1,200. Yep. And back in the day, I used to have like a little book that had like every single like submarine ever made basically, and the Albacore was like, yeah, that was the first teardrop sub. Was that like when was the last class of diesel electric that the U.S. made? I probably should be putting this chat in over here somewhere. That would be nice for the people who watch it later. But I don't know. Last diesel electric USS Albacore. Where are we? What's going on? Are we getting off the shelf almost? We're just about there. It's going to start dropping off soon. Very shortly. We can go beneath the layer comfortably at this point. Let's do it. 500 feet.
Make my depth 501 feet. Dive I.
USS Albacore, SS-218. No, that's not what we want. We went AGSS 569. Someone mentioned an AGSS earlier. Are they still here? Sorry, I don't remember. The turtle? Are you talking about like the Revolutionary War thing? And you want to watch Red October? I want to watch K-19. I love K-19, dude. K-19 is great. Did you know K-19 is the most expensive independent film ever? It was like a National Geographic film or something. USS Albacoa. Last SSK made by US. Barbell class submarine. Yeah, K-19 is great. I remember as like a kid when they like denied getting help from the Americans. I was like, because I was still like, a kid. But now whenever I see it, I'm like, Soyuz near. I get like the freaking like the Soviet pride going on. It's like, yeah, fuck the American. Oh, the reactor scene is terrifying. Okay, let's get one thing straight. Even if they had radiation suits, it wouldn't have helped them, okay? Let's get that would not have helped them. They still would have gotten lethal doses. They still would have gotten lethal doses even with the radiation suits. It would not have helped them in that reactor. Yeah, it's a great scene. Mooning the American helicopter is pretty great too. But Liam Neeson plays a great. So the character, the Soviet officer that Liam Neeson portrays is supposedly he was on one of these Foxtrots during the Cuban Missile Crisis that came close to launching their nuclear torpedoes. So that's a fun fact for you. Could they get anything done in 10-second watches trying to weld a replacement coolant pipe? Could they get anything done in 10-second watches? I don't know. You got all that highly radioactive coolant, and they're that close to like the reactor body. I don't know. So a great quote I love in the nuclear industry is, if we were trying to go for 100% safety, we wouldn't do any of this. It's not really relevant to K-19, but I kind of like that. It's like, if you wanted to ever be safe, we would never handle nuclear materials to potentially get critical reaction situations. Yeah, his exchange with the captain of that boat was very interesting. That captain was hell-bent on not returning embarrassed. Alara, why does that sound familiar? That sounds so familiar. Alara. Okay, as low as reasonably achievable. Okay. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And he was still alive. Like, he didn't die either from, like, radiation dose. I mean, he didn't go in the reactor, but still. He was surrounded by contaminated people. How's our depth looking? Can we get the flank? Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. 600. Oh, scusi. 600 feet. Oh my god. Excuse me. Why is this not... This is not pulling up anymore. Okay. We should be like good around here for flank, just about. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know anything on that front. I can't comment on that.
All ahead flank. Hell my.
Let's displace. I don't know what you guys. I'm thinking I want to displace west a little bit. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I think west is a good idea at this point. I don't know. Hey, man-to-man war. What's going on? That sounds, yeah, like BS. The skipjacks were notoriously slow. I don't think the skipjacks went faster than like 27 knots or something like that. I mean, I have gotten subs to go pretty fast on like, you know, emergency blows, but that's that's not a sustainable speed. In stock game, you can get the Seawolf to hit 40 knots on an emergency blow. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's on purpose. It's on purpose to be offset. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That's weird. Yeah, I think it was because I was trying to pull my Excel sheet up, but it wasn't pulling up any further. I'm trying to figure out how to get the game to... So what I want to try and do is get the game to run at 1600 by 1200, but get like an app to shrink it down, but then record it at 1600 by 1200 and then render it down to like 1080. And then that should look nice on YouTube to like get a bigger resolution than the because I use the 720 because it fills out more of the screen. That's why I don't use the 1024. So like I would like to try and get the game to run it like to record at 1600 by 1200 and then scale it down to try and get it, because I use the like I said, I use the 720 because it's a little bit wider than the 1024 because the 720 is 4:3, whereas the 1024 is 5:4. Yeah, I did bump it a little bit. It's back to normal now. It's all good. Okay, I will be right back. I need to hit the head.
Come left to course 186. Hell my.
Hashtag you only live once. I'm just gonna let it go.
Steady on course 186.
Okay. This is before the prop was refitted in 5 blades. You hear the shutter profile right now, so going flank. Oh, okay, so when it was still noisy. Yeah, I could see that. When they made the props quiet, it definitely reduced the top speed. It was definitely a trade-off. There's no torpedo in the water. I'm going to flank. I wouldn't be able to hear it. Unless it was pinging or something. Okay. I guess we can come out of this run. Yeah, let's do it. Let us come, Shield.
All ahead standard. Hell my.
Do 300 feet.
Make my depth 301 feet. Dive I.
This tastes kind of weird when it gets really warm. It tastes like warm orange juice. If that makes sense. I don't know. Okay. That's it for me on the drinks, I think. I don't think I should be having any more drinks. I'm feeling rather buzzed. What are you doing? I'm not on the map. Why are you flying all the way over there? Okay, thank you. It was a weird thing to do. The objectives of this mission. Okay, yes, you were not here when I first briefed this. So, an American Nimitz was sunk supposedly by this rogue Kilo that is now heading for South America. So I, along with 4 other LA subs, are now running like a picket, and we're trying to intercept the Kilo as it's heading for South America here. So it's going to be hard to do unless he tries to snorkel, because the Kilo's going to be really quiet if he wants to be, which is kind of why I chose this mission. But yeah, so I wish there was more on this map to, you know, dictate, you know, guard here, look there, whatever. I don't know. I guess it's possible that if based on random spawns, the Kilo could hit another sub on the picket line or something and not me, but I don't know. Not much info. Oh, dude,
all
slow
ahead,
down.
all ahead 2/3. Helm aye. All ahead
Streaming
1/3.
the wire every now and then.
Stream the starboard towed array. Helm aye.
Much. None of my other subs have gotten to link location. I guess heading south is good because he's going to be coming from the north. The brief says it should be here within 24 hours, so this could potentially be a very long mission. Where does it say that? Intelligence believes that Kilo 630 is headed for South America and will pass south of the Falkland Islands within the next 24 hours. 5 U.S. Navy submarines have been tasked with intercepting and sinking the Kilo before it can reach safety. So pretty vague instructions all around. Let's go ahead and slow to 3 knots so I can try and get this wire up here.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Needs a little more slack, and also the sea state is very rough. I'm not shallow enough to really look at it, but it's pretty rough. So we get some good surface clutter going on here. Link is on. It is on. Link is on. I guess all my counterparts are running deep because at a certain point, at a certain depth, the AI automatically has link contact, even if it's like, you know, for example, it might be 400 feet and the AI automatically has link contact. Further, you mean over this bank? I don't know. The intelligence says my patrol area is near the Birdwood Bank, and I spawned near the Birdwood Bank. So the Birdwood Bank is right here, and I spawned here, which is near the Birdwood Bank. So I'm kind of keen to stay towards my near patrol area, but I don't know. Stop. Turn off. I think we lost it beneath the layer for a little bit, but it should come back topside as it, I turned it off and the slack gets pulled up here. Wait, what's north of that? I think I should go all the way up there. I don't know. There's a really shallow area in between here and there to get there. I can't really get there that quickly without cavitating. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, I can let out the toad to have it see beneath the layer. Just speeding up some time there so I can get this toad above the layer there. Pick up the slack. That's a fishing boat. So our Kilo, we want to see something at 235. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my little marker above that. But if I see a 50 and a 235, that means we're way too close. And I was not paying enough attention. Probably just going to see a 50 at a first here. 50 at first. 50 at first here. It's empty. There's nothing. Let me try and really look because I've had a few drinks. Oh god, my eye is like twitching. There's like an eye twitch spasm going on. That's not a good time to have that because it's making it hard to see. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. Come on. What are you doing? Okay. You wanna play that game? I'll just close you, eye. With your twitching crap. No, it's a fishing boat. Fishing boat. Okay, we've already looked over half the spectrum. There's no point looking further. We're just gonna get reciprocals. Oh, the circle I put around me is like my approximate detection range if I was to run around at standard speed. Like the approximate maximum distance the Kilo would be able to detect me. Yeah, west is what I'm thinking as well. I'm thinking west. West is what I am thinking. Oh my god, look at all these biologics off in the yonder distance, jeez. Do these have any sounds to them? Well, we got the whales. I was hoping there might be some shrimp. But no. No shrimp. Just whales. Okay, let's secure from this again.
Retrieve the starboard towed array.
And we are going to run west. We are to run west.
Make my depth
all ahead
2/3.
1
feet. Dive I.
That is true, but there's such a wide range of area around here. I'm not going to see this Kilo unless I'm within, you know, like... Depending on how fast he's going, I'm not going to see him unless I'm within, like, 2 nautical miles of this guy. Like... I don't know. There's gotta... I feel like the mission might have a snorkel built in at some point that's going to be his giveaway, but I don't know. Because, like, if the Kilo doesn't want to be found, it's not going to be found. It can go slow enough that I will never see it. I will be right back. I'm going to get some water. It seems like... No, the briefing didn't really say much about that. It seems like it has a Russian crew, but it was hired by the Iraqis, according to the briefing here. This is from a book. This mission is from a book. Yeah. The mission's very vague in every single respect of the sense. Okay, Toad is in.
All ahead full. Helm I. All ahead flank. Helm I.
Juice it up. Juice it up. Juicing it up. Going crazy. Are we still gaining speed? Yes, we are. Man, that waypoint's a long way away. I think my plan is to take this stream for another 40 minutes. And then I think I might stop it in another 40 minutes here. Try and get some sleep. Okay, it's still picking up speed slowly but surely here. Oh god, it's a catastrophe. Oh, everything's going everywhere. Thankfully that bottle is already empty. Sounds like it, because they got bought by the Iraqis. I mean, how much money did the Iraqis have to buy the crew of a kilo? I don't know. Our ETA is 1 hour to get Ozave over here. I guess we should do like some sprint and drift. We shouldn't stay blind for too long. We should pop up and try and keep a track on stuff. Yeah, I haven't done this in a while, but one of my other favorite games is Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl. It's like a first person, almost a role playing kind of game, but not really. That takes place in Chernobyl, the exclusion zone. That's pretty fun. What else have I done? Why am I drawing a blank? I played Fear. I did that a while ago. Dropbox completed videos. Half-Life has a lot. I did 2 Kerbal Space Program videos. I did SSN, Stalker. Oh yeah, the Bloodsucker. The first time you meet a Bloodsucker is pretty scary. It's in the underground near the Acropom Research Institute. That's pretty scary. See you in a sec, man to man. But yeah, I love Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl. That is an amazing game. I don't care for the sequels too much, but Shadow of Chernobyl is good gaming right there. That is some good stuff. I have, to some extent, considered doing like a Medieval 2 Total War playthrough. That would take a long time. I definitely am going to do a Red Alert at some point. Red Alert 2. I love Red Alert. Kerbal Space is on console now. I saw that Scott Manley did a stream of that. What else have I done? I've done like 2 DayZ videos. I did Bioshock. Bioshock is coming up soon after I finish. I think after I finish Portal 2, I'm going to do Bioshock 2. I did Hail to the King Deathbat, which is Avenged Sevenfold's video game. And Halo. Halo is amazing. I love Halo Combat Evolved. That's such a good game. Yeah, my Red Alert 2 is like from 99. It's old. I have the discs, yeah. Yeah, Kerbal is good. I love Scott Manley too. I love seeing him play it because he knows so much more about orbital mechanics than I do. Oh, I clicked off my sub. There you go. Let's we should be pretty vigilant about like stopping every 2 nautical miles and checking or so, because
all ahead standard.
This kilo could easily slip through our fingers. Let's get up to 301.
Make my depth 301 feet. Dive I.
Yuri's Revenge is the funniest in Red Alert 2. Those frickin', what are they? Are they conscripts or initiates or something? If you like, their gunfires, it goes like, huh, huh, huh. If you put like a ton of them in a building, it goes like, huh. It's like, cracks me up. So funny. And then the frickin' brutes, it's like a bunch of Hulks running around like, turn me loose. And they start smashing tanks and stuff. It's funny. Tanya is yeah. Oh, Desolators, yeah, it's some fun stuff. They're kind of creepy. They're like, aren't they from Iraq? The Desolators, they're supposed to be from Iraq or whatever. I don't know. Iraq. We gotta find Iraq. Oh, first we gotta find Afghanistan. Oh, the best is Libya. The bomber truck. My truck is loaded. That guy is great. Like as soon as you hear those words, like it's a special weapon, so you hear the my truck is loaded. You're like, oh shit, someone has a freaking an explosive truck. Dude, the funniest thing that I saw once was like, I guess I was playing against Cuba, and they had a flak track. Those freaking flak tracks. Flak troopers are hilarious too. When those guys get killed, that's funny. But they had a flak track that had like a bunch of like the Cuban suicide bombers in it, and like they tried to come up on a bridge. But it was do you remember the map Arctic Circle? It was like an 8-player map, and everyone had their own little spot. But I was on one of the islands that had the 2 bridges, so I blew both the bridges out, and there was like a flak track with the Cuban suicide bombers that came up, and like my Tesla coil blew up the flak track, and then the bombers were running around, and then the Tesla coil hit one of them, and then it was just all like the mini mushroom clouds going around. It's funny, but the flak troopers are hilarious because like they just say the funniest stuff. This gun heavy. Hey, good to see you back. So we're trying to
all ahead 1/3.
take peeks
Helm aye.
at a
Stream the
regular
starboard
interval
towed array. Helm aye.
to see if there's a kilo afoot. This could be a multi-part stream where we take this on in large chunks with minimal time dilation or whatever you call it. Red Alert 2 is great though. That's like a lot of my friends were into like StarCraft and Warcraft, but I played Red Alert 2 first, so like StarCraft and Warcraft were weird for me, so I never got into them as a result. Oh, I was talking about Command and Conquer Red Alert 2. It's a real-time strategy game from the late 90s. I'm not sure what the time period of it's supposed to be. Is it like late 1900s or like mid to late 1900s or something? It's weird. I don't know. You have Red Alert 3. I played the demo for that a little bit. Red Alert 3 had the Russians had the Typhoon submarine, which was like, it kind of looked like a Typhoon a little bit, and it had like the sail, behind the missile tubes. And you could get like the giant squids if you were the Russians, or the dolphins if you were the Americans. Oh, I love the Kirov reporting. Like that and like the bomb truck were like, holy shit, someone's about to like mess my shit up. World in Conflict. That sounds familiar. Wasn't it like more of like a realistic RTS or something? I played the demo for that, but I didn't really get into it. RTS isn't my bag per se. I had a lot of bad experiences playing like against people who were way too good against RTSs and multiplayer, and just like off-putting me from everything. Okay, let's actually like look for stuff. Flak troopers are hilarious. When they die, they just like like make these hilarious noises. This gun heavy. At least I have job. Flak trooper reporting. Okay, is this? That's a trawler. I want to find a kilo. Trawler again. Okay, we've already looked over the extent of reciprocals, so let's return to our
retrieve the starboard towed array. Helm aye. All ahead standard.
Make
Helm
my
aye.
depth 601 feet. Dive aye.
Oh my god, the original. Are you talking about like the original War game, but this is like a sequel? Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of what is it? No, like War Games with like Matthew Broderick. There was like a game that was made for it in like the 90s for like PlayStation 1. You could play as like NORAD or like I guess the U.S. Army or something. One of my favorite real-time strategy games might be Company of Heroes. Like Company of Heroes is amazing. I love that so much. That was a lot. That was really good. I haven't played that in such a long time, but me and my friends had some fun LAN parties with that. Dude, okay, so man-to-man war. Do you know, like, in the original Company of Heroes and multiplayer, the Germans were hilarious. They had hilarious voices, but then it seems like in an update they changed it. Because, like, in the original one, like, you would hear the, like, your troops over the radio getting shot at, and the Germans would, like, freak out, and they would, like, overload the mic. They're like, taking fire, taking fire! It was, like, fucking hilarious, but then it seems like in later versions they, like, edited that out or changed it, because it was like, ah. Because that was, like, that would crack me up, like, I'm sorry, but, like, yelling in German just kind of goes hand in hand, and it cracks me up. This freaking Company of Heroes is, yeah, that's good stuff. Night fishing for Magikarp. Anyone playing Pokemon Go? Am I the only one here playing Pokemon Go? Okay, we down here, we good.
All ahead flank.
It
Hell
up.
my.
Okay, I thought I was cavitating for a second. So like, what the hell? Why am I cavitating? Alrighty. I guess we can just kind of try and keep this patrol zone up and back and forth, but there's potentially a lot to be left open. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere too, but it seems like they got rid of it in an update. I don't know why you would get rid of that. It was hilarious. Like, you would have a half track taking fire and would just, like, freak out on the radio. It's like, taking fire! What's Pokemon? That has to be a troll. That has to be a troll question right there. Yeah, that's fair. I could probably go back on. Let me go back on Twitch and enable links. I turned it off because I thought it would be like, oh, I don't want people to post bad links. But I guess I'm not really at that size yet. Okay, how long do we want to run for? Maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 more minutes before we check again, because this kilo could potentially be being rather quiet. Dashboard. Engineering. Tools ready. Mirage tank operational. Oh god, the Mirage tanks. The Prism tanks, that is the most OP shit. Unless you get like some Apocalypse tanks up on them. Because those Prism tanks are pretty weak, but they can just obliterate buildings. Let's see, what am I looking for here? I don't know. I'm trying to find where to set that link stuff. I never really used the Mirage tanks. They were good like anti-personnel, but rubber shoes in motion. Goddamn Tesla troopers. All I ever used them for was to power Tesla coils. I don't think anyone really used them for much else. Didn't I change that? I thought I changed that. Security and privacy. How's this going? Going well. Just like another minute here and I'm going to come out of this flank run. Apocalypse tank spam. But yeah, but they're so expensive though. It takes a while to build a lot of Apocalypse tanks. But that's true. That they don't really have any good. There isn't really a good counter to Apocalypse tanks. They're just strong. It just takes a long time to kill them. This reinforced alert, or not reinforced. This red alert talk is making me want to do red alert 2 soon. I just love red alert 2. I don't know. I should look for this later. I'm doing a stream right now. Barbell class submarine. What's the skate class? I was looking this up earlier, trying to figure out what the last SSK was that the U.S. made. Skate was nuclear. That's not an SSK. Here we go. The Barbell class submarines are the last diesel electric propelled attack submarines built by the U.S. Navy. There was a U.S. sniper. I guess there was a. I guess I don't really remember. I played as Americans sometimes. I guess I generally preferred. Well, it depended. I could play as, I guess, Germans or Americans. Has anyone played Command and Conquer Generals? That piece of crap game. It's all right. It's kind of, there's some funny Chinese quotes there. Like, China has been generous. Or like the nuke, that nuke artillery piece or whatever it is.
All ahead standard.
Make my depth 301 feet. Dive I.
Or in Command and Conquer Generals, as if you play as like the I forget what the names are, but like the terrorists, I guess, the Middle Eastern guys, they're like 4 on the floor. There's like a little the escort, the scout jeep or whatever thing, the technical. No, I don't think Generals has robots. Generals, if you play as the Americans, you could like, it was like a cold fusion reactor and you could like extend the control rods to get more power. I don't know if that means anything to you. The Chinese also had like nuclear reactors, but they weren't cold fusion, whatever the hell, that is.
All ahead 1/3. Hell my.
Maneuver props engaged. I know your thoughts. Thoughts a thief. Fucking, those goddamn Yuris are so frickin' annoying. No, they don't. They didn't model that properly. But I don't know. I'm not versed on what the hell cold fusion is. I mean, I've heard of cold fusion. The mind is quicker than the eye. Those goddamn Yuris. Yuri's Revenge is just weird. Like, all the Yuri's Revenge units, they're all kind of weird. The UFOs, I remember my friend would always spam the hell out of the damn UFOs. Dreadnought tanks, weren't they kind of I don't know. Cold fusion. I don't know. Now's not the time to be doing a research project on cold fusion. So I'm just going to close out of that. Come back to the game.
Stream the starboard towed array. Hell my.
I don't know what Mr. Robot is. You're not going to get any spoilers from me. Oh, yeah, the Dreadnought ships. Yeah, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, the cruise missiles. Yeah, they were nice. They were nice indeed. I remember you could make an Aegis boat in Red Alert 2, and all it would do was shoot down missiles. That's all it was good for. It wouldn't do anything else. I hated those squids, though. The squids were the worst. Because you had to, like, you either had to have dolphins to get the squid off your boat, or you had to sink your own boat to try and get rid of the squid. Oh, hello, Norse Gunnar. I apologize. Gunnar, I don't know. Gunner. What the hell's Mr. Robot? That sounds like a Cartoon Network show or something. Okay, I'm going to say this. Terror drones were in Red Alert 2 as well, and they suck too, because you also had to blow up your own tank to destroy them. So annoying. Does anyone here watch... Wait. War Game Red Dragon. Interesting. They were called Terror drones in Red Alert 2. I guess it seems like they were in Red Alert 3 as well. Yeah, the crawly spider bastards. I'm gonna say this, and when I say it, no one spoil it because I'm only 2 seasons in. But does anyone else watch Game of Thrones? I'm only 2 seasons in, but it's pretty good. Do not spoil it, please. I'm only 2 seasons in. Okay, this seems to be a busier escape. Oh no, we lost under the toad. Is it gonna cut? Is it gonna? Okay, it's popped back up. Oh, did I say I lost it under the toad? I lost it under the layer. USA Network. Is this a fishing bot? Is it gonna disappear? What's up with the pluses? I'm watching this signal, waiting for it to disappear, because I know it's going to. I used to play a lot of Gmod. Okay, this signal is not disappearing. It's been almost a minute and it has not disappeared yet. This is a potential contact of interest. Game of Thrones is good. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend it.
Bearing
it's pretty good.
038 designated Sierra 1.
We're gonna have a reciprocal over this way.
Con sonar. I have a new contact. Bearing 083
but this is something
designated
of note.
Sierra 2.
This has not dropped off yet. This is something of note. I'm not Yankee searching. Nope, not happening. No Yankee search. I used to play a lot of Gmod, and that kind of destroyed Sandbox for me. Okay, so this has not dropped off yet to signify a fishing boat. So we are going to go ahead and turn.
Come right to course 280. Helm I.
The most complicated thing with the the most complicated thing I ever made with wire mod was a flat 4 engine, a flat 4 internal combustion engine model. Yep, making a turn. I will Yankee search if someone. So if someone shoots on you, you could pretty much like think that they've got your. They know where you are. It might be worth Yankee searching at that point. Yeah, that was about the extent of what I did with it. I don't know. It was like, at a certain point, it was like, I felt like I was doing work because I'm an engineer. It's like, I'd rather just do this at my job than, like, do this in the game. But that's not even fair to say because I was still in school at that point, but I don't know. I lost interest. A straight 8. Yeah, I actually attached the wire mod engine to like a vehicle with like gears and stuff, but it could only go so fast because like the physics limits of source. But it still worked with the gears and everything, straight cut gears. This has not dropped off yet. This is a target of interest. But why would I be seeing this now? I've been running away from this contact at flank speed. Why would I? I guess it's possible I caught up to it. It was putzing along and I like flanked and caught up to it. That's possible. I've not seen Star Trek The Voyage Home. I would like to watch more Star Trek. I've only seen... Ah, damn it. Ruining my hopes and expectations. There you go. Ugh. That's me. Don't get excited about that. That's me.
Steady on course 280.
Damn it. Damn it. Alright, CR2, get out of here. But this is our real fishing boat. I might as well make a solution for this while I'm at it. Might as well do it. Why have I not gotten a bearing update in a while? What is up with that? What's going on? What is this bearing, like 4-1? Am I not getting bearing updates because it's like dropping off? Okay, so I recently, during one of my kind of somewhat recent format. I used to make maps for like source mod or for like source games, and I like in like a somewhat recent format I lost all those maps because I didn't back them up properly. But I made a map that had like I made like a Los Angeles in the map editor and then like a typhoon as well, and they were like scaled together. But like I could never find that map, and I never remembered having deleted it, and it was just weird. But it's gone forever now, as are all those maps I made back then because I lost them in a format. So all this stuff is like almost from like when, not all of it, but a good chunk of it's from like Toad Turn. So I'm gonna dude, I told you to like hold this speed. Just hold that. I'm gonna try to ignore these like, I guess maybe these last 2 points. Those first 4 look like they could be pretty decent there. But it's not really telling me much. Anything useful. Space build. Oh, I forgot about space build and life support. Oh yeah, it is on Origin, isn't it? I've messed around with it in a single mission for a very little bit. The Red October. You have to be beneath a certain depth. You have to be past a certain depth. I think it's like 150 meters. You have to be deeper than that to turn it on. Oh, I didn't even remember properly and I guessed it. Boom. Got it. Assuming you're right, of course, TJ. There are a lot of biologics going crazy, biologic reciprocals. So many biologics. Distant contact, probably submerged. If I had to guess, sounded like a boomer coming out of the barn. Sounds like a missile boat heading out of Pagliarni. Anyone knows how he had to explain that twice? Yeah, in the book it's just like pump jets inside the hull, but in the movie it's the magnetohydrodynamic drive. Okay, here's how it actually is. It's Beaumont. It's like a French silliness, but there you go. There's Beaumont. Let's return to our
all ahead standard.
Make my depth
Helm
6,
aye.
0,
Starboard
1
towed array.
here.
Helm aye.
I'm not even sure what's up with this. I didn't really check out this solution too much. I don't know. It's worth checking to see if this straightens out anywhere. I don't know. Who knows? It's a fishing boat. Just a fishing boat. In these crazy ass seas, it might as well be like the perfect storm or whatever. All those crazy ass fishing boats. I guess they got stuff to catch. I will not pull the red lever. You will not. What the hell? What is up with my course? What is going on? Oh, I ordered a course change. I was about to be like, what the hell is going on, dude? That was weird. I was like, I was super confused just then. I was like, what the hell is going on? Ugh. Yeah, do not run through their nets. Do not fall into the same trap that World War I submarines fell into. Okay, this is interesting. Because in the stock game, the toad comes out of these little ancillary things. But I think what these are actually there for is to prevent torquing when you flank it up. Because as the propeller spins this way, the boat's going to want to turn that way to counter it. So I think that's what these are here for, is to prevent the boat from torquing. I'm not sure if they're actually tow dispenser pods or not. I think it comes out of here. It comes out of the stern plane thing. But I don't know. Okay, almost got her towed back in. To get, I guess when we can try and reacquire this guy at some point and do like a little bit of triangulation on the fly.
All ahead flank, helm aye.
But see, the thing I have with that is like, shouldn't the rudder and the stern planes already provide enough of like a control surface area to counteract that torquing? Like, do these fins here really do that much more? I don't know. Wow, if you zoom in on this, this is the stock. Okay, so the original LA model in Dangerous Waters was crap, but then Sonalist did a new one, and they made it really nice. You can actually see like anechoic tiles on this. They did a good job with it. Because all RA changes this. Like, this is all stock. This is the stock model. Flanking. But from what I gather, it's just during like speed changes that the screw imparts a torque on the boat, because once it gets to steady state, it should be fine. But maybe not. I don't know. But I think it's just when its speed changes, it imparts the torque on the boat and gets it twisting. But they had the good LA model, but then like the Akula model was crap. The Seawolf model was crap. But RA fixes that. If you've ever wondered why the Capard model has a weird looking conning tower, that's because that's what it actually looks like in real life. I looked it up. Because like the earlier Akulas have like more of that blended shape that the Alpha almost has, but then the Capard has a very like distinct sail. It's not really blended with the hull as well. Okay. Always going to be some torque. It's been a while. At the conclusion of our next, I almost want to go shallow enough to see if the radio is going to say anything. I don't know. Yeah, the Oscar has that problem solved by having twin screws that rotate in opposite directions. Doesn't have to worry about torque in that regard. Oscar's a huge boat, man. That is a big boat. And stock Oscar model is crap as well. It's like all like gray. It's like a light gray. Never thought about who deals with what. The Oscar, it has props that rotate in opposite directions. It cancels the torque out from each other. Typhoon stock is just, it's atrocious. It is more than meh. It is atrocious. It's so bad. Ugh. It's horrible. Oh my god. Ugh. But if you have on ships with one screw, I guess it's not really as pronounced on a surface ship, I wouldn't think. Because on the surface ship, you got like buoyancy that's kind of like trying to keep you upright, but when you're on like a sub, it's more or less able to rotate around more freely. I don't know. But I imagine as like a surface ship is speeding up, it might lean to one side while like you're getting that change in torque initially. Yeah, it could happen on a Perry potentially. So Discord is just a chat app, or are you talking like how someone wants to chat with you on Discord to get it to work? I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but the U.S. Navy no longer operates Perry-class frigates. They only have littoral combat ships now. Okay, let's a few more seconds here. I'm going to come out of this run. Yep, other countries still operate Perrys, but the U.S. no longer operates Perrys. As of almost a year ago, the Perrys are really old. That's pretty much it. But the littoral combat ships are cool, though. I want to see if RA will mod them. That would be very cool to play as a littoral combat ship, because they can deploy special forces and stuff. Do they keep breaking down? That's unfortunate. The Navy will stick with those, though, unlike the frickin' Zumwalt. Have you heard about that? Originally, they wanted 30 ships. Then they wanted 7. And then they wanted 3. And now it looks like they want 2. And maybe even just 1.
All ahead standard. Hell my.
No, do not go to 9,000 feet. Good lord, stop. Okay, we're good.
Make my depth 301 feet. Dive I.
Are you talking about the LCS has helicopters and Harriers? No, LCS is smaller than Perry's. The railgun sounds really cool, but apparently the Zumwalt has a problem with stability because it has like the bow is shaped like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen ship or whatever. And apparently if it has like tail waves in the storm, it can get instability and like capsize. So that seems to be a mega problem with the Zumwalt class there. I'm not sure why they went for that inverted bow. Everyone's been like doing this now because this is having the bow like this is more efficient than like the Titanic days where it was just like straight cutting through the water. Having the bow angled like that.
All ahead 1/3. Hell my. Make turns for stream to starboard towed array. Hell my.
You could definitely retrofit a railgun onto a Burke. That shouldn't be a problem to retrofit that. They're going to make a new version of the Burke. That's like what's happening instead of having the Zumwalt class or whatever. Sure, Dangerous Models could model a railgun round. It would just be like a deck gun round, but it would just go faster, I think. I'm not sure how they actually model it, but that's what I would just say off the cuff. Off the cuff. I guess the cuff is here. It's not on your sleeve. Whatever. Is it just hype? I've read an article that said like a lot of people were saying it was more than just hype, but I don't know. I mean, it is like, one situation. Like, how often are you running with a tail? How often are you not running into the waves? You're running with a tail wave. I don't know. Okay, well, that might be why they're making, like, a new version of the Burke now instead of the Zumwalt. Or Zumwalt. Yeah, they were saying the Zumwalt will be able to hit targets on land that are like 75 miles away with a deck gun. Which is like, I don't know, 180 kilometers or something like that. Yeah, and if they make a new version of the Burke, they might do that, but I guess that's kind of what Zumwalt already has. I don't know what's involved with it all. And the Gerald Ford, the new carrier, keeps getting pushed back. Okay, this dipped beneath the toad a little while ago. Do 250.
Make my depth 251 feet.
Just gonna do a little time lapse here. Okay, we got it back. What do we got? Let's go ahead and stream the floating wire here. Anything at all. Here's our fishing boat again. Okay, you know what this tells me about this fishing boat? This thing is very far away. Or it's running parallel with us. But it seems to be pretty far away. Or going at like a faster speed here. What is, seems like it's going like 10 knots almost and like due west, just about. Huh. Interesting. Seems like it's really far away, this fishing boat. That is a very specific thing for Donald Trump to be talking about. I'm surprised. Is streaming this floating wire going to yield anything? I hope so. Well, submarines are now starting to be tracked by like satellites now too. I think the technology is going to go to that point as well. I don't know. It's hard to say. War is stupid. I enjoy playing submarine games, but war is stupid. Humans are stupid. Was it from the DoD? I mean, the railgun makes sense in terms of like if missile interception technology keeps getting better, it's gonna be a lot harder to intercept like a railgun round than like a missile. We're still getting nothing from this frickin' link. Nothing at all. Not one thing. I don't know. I feel like that's the last place I would want to serve as a spacecraft, because if you get like a hull breach, there's like nothing you can do. You can't just like float in the ocean and just potentially wait for something. You're gonna suffocate. The optimist in me hopes space doesn't get militarized, but it's like almost an event. It's like almost an eventuality. Let's take a look at the toad again. I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. Just so you know. About to wrap this up. Did I lose that? I think this... Did this fall underneath the toad again? No. Not that it fall underneath the toad, did it fall underneath the layer again? I'm not seeing that fishing boat. Oh, there it is. Slippery sliding. Slip sliding away. Yeah, it's hard to say. That's just, it's such a far way off. Having a very reasonable, large, constant presence in space is still such a far way off. Alright, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will come back to this for sure. Maybe next week. At some point. But yeah, we will stop here. What was this called? Vengeance, and they spelled it incorrectly. Did they spell it incorrectly, or is it spelled like that? I thought that seemed like it was spelled incorrectly. Vengeance. No, that's how you spell it. There's that A in there. There you go. Vengeance 01. Alright, guys. Catch y'all later. Have a good one. And as always, good hunting.